I never told my son about the quiet fortune I'd built. To him, I was just Mom, the tired woman who left before dawn, came home after dark, cooked from whatever was in the fridge, and wore the same coat until the elbows shone. He never knew I earned $40,000 every month, that for 20 years I had signed contracts worth hundreds of millions, that I could buy the restaurant we were about to enter with one phone call. I kept it hidden the way some people hide scars, because the wound had taught me something, and the lesson was mine alone. So when Marcus rang that Tuesday and asked me to meet his wife's parents at the city's most expensive restaurant, I heard the tremor in his voice. Not excitement. Fear. Fear that I would embarrass him. Fear that the woman in the thrift store dress would not fit beside the crystal chandeliers. I told him I would come. Then I chose the oldest dress I owned, the one with the frayed hem and the missing button. I wanted to feel with my own skin how they would treat someone they believed had nothing. I wanted to watch their faces when the mask came off. The taxi stopped beneath a canopy of gold light. White-gloved doormen, marble steps, the faint scent of truffles drifting through the revolving door. I paid in crumpled bills, stepped out, and walked inside like a woman who had never been invited anywhere grand. Marcus saw me first. His eyes flicked from my wrinkled skirt to my scuffed shoes, and I saw the apology forming on his lips. Simone stood beside him in cream silk and diamonds, her smile thin as the stem of her wineglass. At the table sat Veronica and Franklin, her parents, already seated like monarchs waiting for a lesser court. Veronica's emerald dress glittered with sequins. Franklin's watch caught the candlelight and threw it back like a warning. I approached slowly, clutching a faded canvas bag, and offered the small, uncertain smile of someone who feared she had wandered into the wrong room. Marcus pulled out my chair, the only one he touched all night. No one else moved. The menus arrived, thick as hymnals, every dish in French. Veronica leaned over with practiced pity. Need help, dear? I blinked at the page as if the letters were foreign insects. Yes, please. I don't understand any of this. She sighed, ordered the cheapest salad for me, and added, something light. We don't want to overdo it. The phrase settled between us like a verdict. Conversation began with the weather in their country, moved to the hotel suite that cost $1,000 a night, then to the rented Bentley, the boutique where they had picked up a few things, nothing major, just a few thousand. Every sentence carried the same unspoken question. And you? I answered in single syllables, eyes lowered, hands folded in my lap. Veronica's voice grew sweeter, sharper. We've always been careful with money, haven't we, Franklin? Properties in 3 countries now. Simone had the best schools, the best travels. When she married Marcus, we gave them the down payment on the house, paid for the honeymoon, 3 weeks in Europe. We believe in supporting our children. She paused, waiting. I nodded. That's kind. And you? She asked, tilting her head. Were you able to help the young couple at all? The trap snapped shut. I looked at my salad. I gave what I could. A small gift. Veronica's smile was a scalpel. Every little bit counts, doesn't it? The courses arrived, tiny sculptures of food on vast white plates. Veronica named the price of each ingredient the way other people name their children. This scallop is flown in from Hokkaido, $80. Quality is worth paying for. Franklin nodded. One can't just eat anything. I ate in silence, fork trembling just enough to look real. Marcus stared at his plate. Simone traced circles on the tablecloth with one manicured nail. Then Veronica set down her fork. Error, may I speak plainly? As family. Marcus stiffened. Mom. She raised a hand. Let me finish. Marcus is our son-in-law now. We love him. But he's at a new stage. Marriage, responsibilities. We don't want unnecessary burdens weighing him down. She turned to me, eyes soft with counterfeit concern. We've thought about it, Franklin and I. We could give you a modest allowance, say, $700 a month. Enough to ease the worry. In return, We'd ask you to give the young couple space. No surprise visits, no financial pleas. Let them build their life. The offer hung in the air like smoke. Marcus's face went white. Simone's knuckles were bloodless around her glass. I set my napkin beside my plate. The timid woman was gone. In her place sat the woman who had negotiated with boards of directors in 3 languages. $700, I repeated, voice low, steady. To vanish. Veronica's smile faltered. I wouldn't phrase it. That is exactly how you phrased it. I leaned forward. Tell me, how much was the down payment on their house? She recovered quickly. 40,000. And the honeymoon? 15. 55,000 total. Generous. I let the numbers settle. You've invested 55,000 in my son's happiness. And you believe 700 a month will buy his mother's absence. Franklin cleared his throat. You're twisting. Am I? I turned to him. Did I mishear when you said I was a burden? When you offered charity so I'd stop embarrassing your daughter? Silence. The candle flames trembled. Marcus whispered, Mom, please. I looked at him, really looked, and saw the boy who used to fall asleep on my lap while I studied spreadsheets at the kitchen table. I softened, but only a fraction. 1 minute, sweetheart. Then we leave. I faced Veronica again. You asked what I do. I'll tell you. 40 years ago I was a secretary earning minimum wage. Pregnant. Alone. The father gone, my family ashamed. I worked until the day I gave birth, returned 2 weeks later. A neighbor watched Marcus while I took night classes, accounting, finance, languages. I climbed. Secretary to coordinator to manager to director. 20 years. No inheritance. No husband. No safety net. Just me. Veronica's lips parted. I continued. Today I am regional director for a multinational. 5 countries. 10,000 employees. Budgets in the hundreds of millions. My salary is $40,000 a month. Gross income over my career, almost 10 million. Investments separate. The fork slipped from Marcus's hand and clanged against porcelain. Simone gasped. Franklin's face drained of color. Veronica stared as if I had spoken in tongues. I reached into my canvas bag and drew out a card. Black metal, heavier than it looked. I laid it on the linen. Corporate Centurion. Unlimited. Pay the bill. Consider it a gift from the broke old woman you pitied. Veronica's hand hovered, then withdrew as if burned. Marcus stood. Mom, let's go. I rose. The chair scraped like a verdict. One last thing, I said to Veronica. You speak 4 languages. In which of them did you learn kindness? Because it wasn't in any. We walked out. The night air was cool, clean. Marcus took my arm. I'm sorry, he said. I never asked. I assumed. I let them. I stopped him with a hug. You saw what I wanted you to see. Effort. Not money. I needed you to build your own life, not inherit mine. He pulled back, eyes wet. You're incredible. I smiled. I'm just your mother. In the taxi home, I rolled down the window and let the city lights blur past. The driver glanced in the mirror. Rough night. Necessary night, I said. He nodded. Truth usually is. 3 days later Simone knocked on my door. No makeup, no jewelry, hair in a simple knot. She looked like a woman who had slept very little and thought a great deal. May I come in? I stepped aside. She sat on my old sofa, hands twisting in her lap. I'm not here to defend them, she began. I'm here to understand. I poured tea, plain, no fancy leaves, and listened. She told me about her parents' childhood poverty, the hunger, the fear. How money became their god because it had once been their absence. I stayed silent, she said, because silence was easier than losing them. But I don't want to teach my children that love is measured in dollars. I set my cup down. Then don't. Start small. Question every purchase. Ask whose approval you seek. Listen to the voice you silenced. It knows the way. She cried then, quiet, cleansing tears. When she left, she hugged me like a daughter, not a daughter-in-law. Marcus called the next morning. We set boundaries. No more financial lectures. No more control. If they can't respect that, the door stays closed. I heard the steel in his voice and knew my boy had become a man. Veronica and Franklin sent a stiff email, apologies wrapped in excuses, promises wrapped in conditions. I did not reply. Some lessons must be lived, not lectured. On Sunday I walked to the park with a bag of stale bread. An old woman fed the pigeons beside me. Beautiful day, she said. Beautiful, I agreed. She scattered crumbs. Rich or poor, they all eat the same bread. I smiled. Some people never learn that. She shrugged. Their loss. I never pretended to be poor again. I didn't need to. The truth had done its work. My apartment stayed simple, my clothes stayed worn, my heart stayed full. And every month, $40,000 arrived quietly in my account. A reminder that wealth is not what you display, but what you choose to live without.